12 for Endpoint. Oh, we'll have to see.
I really want to see the Caesar, no salad, Caesar versus good old Lazar duel.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. 16-12 to Epiphany Bolt. It's going to be Caesar charging on forward. Wolfie gets the first kill of the game. And it's A-site immediately. Bomb going to be dropping on down. Weber trying to find the shots. Can't quite head that one through. Aaron gets one and Caesar answers it immediately. The bomb is down 4 versus 3 now. This could be a nice quick round coming out for Epiphany Bolt.
Yeah, could very well be. Obviously, they have the man advantage right now. Aaron gets caught off guard as well, peeking towards.
Ooh,
nice. Ali in action. Nice 2K there from Thomas. Pulse on the 1 versus 3. No kit to have an AD in this scenario as of yet. Missing the first few shots and down just the 3 bullets left in the chamber. Going to go for the reload. Goes for the reface and still dueling out Thomas and eventually going to wing that.
Oh,
and oh my god, they lined up.
Here we go. Caesar, last man standing. There's no time. He can't get the defuse.
Oh,
what a shot.
Surely. Yeah.
Good. I was going to say. Hey, good round from Paul. So 4 kills. What is it about CT players and getting 4 kills in the first round of the game? That's 3 times tonight.
Overfacing and overpeaking. But yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I would say that he was the one overfacing.
On train. No Mirage as well from Smear. So far, so good from Epiphany Bolt. I reckon in a best of 3, Endpoint win 2-1 most games, right? Versus Epiphany Bolt.
Okay.
The issue is, I said 2-1. There's obviously the chance for a best of 1 upset. I actually think on train Epiphany Bolt can win this one. I still think Endpoint take a 16-12, but I actually think Epiphany Bolt can steal that second spot in the group away from Endpoint.
That would be huge moving on into playoffs. Obviously, seeding is going to matter a lot to each and every one of these players. But we'll see. Only a single round in. We'll have to see how this first half pans out with Epiphany Bolt on that terrorist side. But getting the pistol on the terrorist side actually can be huge moving on forward with the map. Just having this weaponry, being able to get a few rounds off the back of that first one could be the difference maker, really, in the grand scheme of the whole game.
Yeah, I mean, you win the first round, you then force someone to a force buy. You can see as well, Lazar goes for the investment into the scout. This means he's going to be lacking the open to the first buy round. You win this round here for Epiphany Bolt. Force out the eco in the next round. You go 3-0 up, and then obviously lacking it up for Lazar, for example, lacking utility. There's a high chance this could be a 5-0 lead here for Epiphany Bolt.
Could be something beautiful. Here we go, setting up towards this B side. 45 seconds on the clock still. Don't have too much information to work with, though. Thomas has been tagged down pretty heavily, and the push comes on in. Weber, though, with the deagle, finds the first headshot to start things off. Gets the second, gets the third. Oh, my God, Weber shuts down the push. What a way to get around on the board. What a round coming out from Endpoint there. Unbelievable. Look at this replay.
Oh.
So finds the first one, ducks down, and then as they come up, they line up beautifully.
I know. Crazy. I mean, basically sends this whole T-half now into disarray from Epiphany Bolt. We said, right? They won that round. They can force out the force buy, then the eco. They're going to have a weakened buy into the next buy round. It's all set up here for Epiphany Bolt on their T side, but Weber, the new IGL, I say new. Been in IGL now for a few months, it seems, but Thomas opens things up with the eagle. First shot comes in and does actually find the frag onto Mighty Max. So 5 versus 4, but still going to be favouring an Endpoint in this scenario. Lazar spots up the players towards teammate and lands a tag as well.
Tries to do some more. He got a nice grenade in there as well to tag up a couple of players. Oh, Aaron's been found. Just about gets away with his life. But there's only 3 members for Epiphany Bolt remaining. They've got the deagles. They want to try and do what Weber did last round, but I don't think it's going to happen for them here. Unfortunately, losing those first couple of kills when you're already down when it comes to the weaponry, it's never a good situation to find yourself in. A Wolfie now with the deagle. Going to push towards this B site. Yeah, obviously going to be armed by Weber. Running both towards heaven and lower. Ooh, spots on the player there. Wolfie tagged up, eventually going to be taken down here. Misses the headshots with the deagle. Hilo Kim's in for his own chances, but 2-1 now for Endpoint, and that should be forcing out the eco now for Epiphany Bolt. We look at the money. Yeah, $2,000 across the board. Get up to going for the save into round number 4, which means, 3-1 lead here potentially for Endpoint. And crucial as well, Munch, this is the round where they can build up their cash versus the eco. Ecos aren't only for the extra round on the board, they're also for your money. It's so important to have. 4 or 5 stay alive. Have, if you got any SMGs, farm up the cash and absorb that round victory bonus. See if they're going to be able to get themselves this eco
on the board. You'd assume that they'll take the round. The question is how much economic damage is going to be done. Pulse falling back immediately. He knows all of the members are coming. Doesn't want to take on a whole squad at once. Finds one. Can he? Oh, can't quite land the spray, but the Deagle comes out. The rest of his team chimes in. Didn't actually need to take that jewel. Might have been worth backing away with 1 HP, but manages to find it. And that means that they are going to move through into this round, as you rightly say, holding on to that economy, keeping the extra cash. And now they're feeling very comfortable going into round 5.
A lot to play for here. First buy rounds in this matchup. If Endpoint win this one, I think they're pretty much secured at the second position within the group. Epiphany bot, though, they can have the upset. Maybe, just maybe, we see them claiming that second spot. Caesar, aggressive already, towards teammate. The Molotov will eventually warden him away, but already aggression here through Pop.
There we go, a couple of kills going on through. Thomas gets one, but they're both traded immediately. Pulse managing to find the advantage for his team as well, as Mighty Max falls on down, but Elo, the last man standing, not standing any longer. 3 kills for Pulse in that round, and it is going to be another one on the board for Endpoint. 4-1 advantage now. Once again, we're going to have to see some kind of eco coming through for Epiphany Bolt. Not quite full eco. They're going to invest a tiny bit of armor across the board, a couple of CZs, but in the grand scheme of things, they're just trying to make sure that they can still buy in the next round and give themselves a small chance of at least trying to take out a couple of players, maybe steal a couple of rifles in this one and hope for something more in future rounds.
Yeah, it's true. Obviously, the goal here is obviously to get the bomb down, give yourself an extra, $800 across the board for your economy, but also deal damage to the CT side economy. Some of these rounds have been close. Aaron in towards Poplock finds the first frag already. So 5 versus 4. Seems like we are deemed to see a 5-1 squad and a 5-1 advantage here for Endpoint. And yeah, I mean, Epiphany Bolt, they have to make something happen sooner rather than later, right? If they start going into a 6-7-1 deficit, remember, this team doesn't practice. This is a mixed team, as Dom is so very well describing in terms of the tilt, but this is a mixed team, Munch, which means, if they go down 7-1, 8-1, they don't have the tactics to fall back on. If the individual skill isn't there to match up versus Endpoint, they haven't got the strategy to try and outplay them.
Yeah, the problem is, in that kind of situation, it's so difficult to keep... Motivation's the wrong word, but I guess momentum as a team. It's very difficult for you to be able to say to your teammates, oh no, we can still do this, we can still pull this around, because what logic do you have to say that, literally the evidence is in front of you that you clearly aren't out shooting your opponents and there's no strategies there. So it's what evidence can you back that statement up with at that situation? 5-1 now to Endpoint as they manage to clean up that eco, but the rifles are going to come through. So when we talk about that kind of mentality, the morale of the squad, this is going to be a very important round, because if they can get these rifles connecting to heads, if they can maybe turn this into a second one off the next and avoid a reset, they've got to get this round first, but if they could get a couple together, then they're going to be in a really good position.
Yeah, most definitely. Already though, Thomas towards the A site, towards outside, finds the first frag. 5 versus 4 then. Org for Weber. Could be a sign of disrespect potential here for Endpoint to be, maybe a bit overconfident into this one, but Dom finds one frag. A clinical double tap there from Mighty Max, finds the frag onto Caesar. So 4 versus 2, but instantly into a 3 versus 2 here. 1 player advantage still there for Epiphany Bolt.
2 men remaining. Weber with an org in his inventory. Not the favorite gun of the pros, but certainly an interesting purchase. I'll give him that. Wants a bit of a red dot sight on the go. Does find one, so fair play to him. But here we go, 2v2 now. Weber gets the second one with the org. Big fan of Call of Duty. Wants that red dot sight in his inventory. Maybe he's been playing too much PUBG.
1 versus 1 then. Oh, Max spots up Wolfie. Able to find the frag though, knows he has the bomb. Wolfie jumps in towards the back lines, goes in towards B. And then the 1 versus 1 towards the B site does begin.
Here we go, smoke goes out. It's not actually going to do too much there. Wolfie very low already in this situation, so Mighty Max definitely with an advantage, but it's got an AK. 1 single bullet will do it regardless, so if you can find that headshot. Does have the bomb already, and he's now moving towards that B site to drop that down, but Mighty Max didn't push through that smoke. He knows that that's just too difficult of a situation. Needs to wait for that bomb to be planted so he gets a sign that the player's not there.
Yeah, got to remember as well, Max has a defuse kit. Smoke, defuse. Wolfie is low, so that might mean he won't go for a face. Oh, the timing here on the peaks. Mighty Max not going to go for the overface and overseller's peak. Instead, going to try and play it passive, expecting Wolfie to peek towards Oil Train, peek towards the default site.
There you go. Mighty Max pushes on in here. Like he said, does have that smoke available. Could just go for a tap on the bomb, try and find someone peeking. Wolfie is going to look out on this one. Drops the molly, but actually smoke goes down. I don't know if he heard the smoke. Oh, he's just spotted it now. Needs to spray for this one, but the defuse will come on through. Well played by Mighty Max. Manages to grab that situation. 6-1, or 5-1, sorry. No, it was 6-1. Going the way of Endpoint. But now we're starting to see this loss bonus racking up now for the side of Epiphany Bolt. They're managing to get some money in their pockets, and they're going to be able to consistently buy here.
Obviously, you get $3,400 for the round loss bonus being in its full, max. What that means is if they get the bomb plant down, 3.4k plus 800, 4,200, you then add in frags and whatnot, they can buy, AKs, grenades here, left, right, center if they find frags. But thing to note here, Munch, the AWP for Caesar. And that could be the difference maker here for Epiphany Bolt on their T side. They need something to really go in their favor because right now, the Angels being won by Endpoint, Weber with the Deagle, the Orc, Max as well as M4 has been so strong so far. They need something to go in their favor.
Oh, nice little duel there from Wolfie, dropping down and managing to find a headshot. Mighty Max tags out Thomas. Luzza's got a kill in the meantime. That is a good little bit of defense here on this A site. Pulse stepping on top of the train. He wants to find one of these shots. Health bars are pretty low for the side of Epiphany Bolt. This should be some easy cleanup, and Pulse finds the first one. 13 HP on Mighty Max. He's just going to play utility, throwing out those flashes, trying to protect his teammates, trying to help them set up these kills. And Pulse holding the angle. Should be able to find a nice easy shot here on Caesar. And there we have it. It's going to be Dom, last man remaining. He probably wants to try and grab this AWP if he can, but legged in the end. Can't quite walk away with this one. Yes, he can, maybe. Pulse trying to find the shots. Not quite connected.
2 HP, 1 versus 3. And eventually going to be taken down there by Pulse. Pulse with how many frags was that? 3 into that round, so strong performance from him.
Pulse on 14.
How does Wolfie have $8,000?
Phenomenal question. I do not have an answer. Not buying, I guess.
But they've lost 7 rounds in a row. That is rather strange, but
maybe on one of the forces he just didn't.
Yeah, maybe got dropped a weapon. Maybe someone saved. That's the only way I can think of it actually being feasible. But anyway, leaving us bemused. It will be round number 9, 7-1 here. 6 round advantages though still for Endpoint, and 7 now. 1 on the trot for the. I was going to say UK boys, but then again, there's 2 Swedes on the Epiphany Bolt roster. So both teams technically still UK, bodies, 3 or more are UK.
Yeah.
But yeah, grouping out towards B. This is the final call. This is desperation, right? If they lose this round here, then God help Epiphany Bolt at this rate.
Yeah, this is the point that we were talking about earlier, where when you don't have the strategies to fall back on, momentum really starts to kind of fall away from your team, and you really struggle to get yourselves back together again. Here we go, 4 versus 4 now. Endpoint trying to retake this site as the bomb is already down. So Cash will be fine next round for Epiphany Bolt, regardless of the result at this stage. Thomas very aggressively positioned here in a smoke. Players to push through, but Pulse spots him out. Does finish that one off in the end. And now Weber in a very good position. They are starting to run out of time though. They need to make something happen here. 2 versus 2 though.
Diffuse gets there for the CT side, but Dom has the cross in towards D4. Going to spot the first player out, lands the nice headshot, gets his second as well, and clinical plays from Dom. 4K into that round as well from him. 7-2. Round number 10 here, Munch. As it will be the 5-round advantage still. The thing is though, if Epiphany Bolt get a reset here, Munch, I think this might be a very fast final map. I mean, look at the buy already for Epiphany Bolt. If they lose this one, they're out of cash. But this game is on a knife's edge for both these teams. The reason being is Endpoint lose, they're forced onto an eco. Epiphany Bolt can get to 3, then 4. The same can be said here for the likes of Endpoint.
Here we go though, nice aggressive play, fast play coming out from Epiphany Bolt, trying to catch Endpoint off guard. Starting off with a really nice pick from either, but Luzza, I think you just got a collateral right there.
Pretty sure.
Now, well, that is not pretty if you're Epiphany Bolt, especially since you just got the nice opening pick. Pulse goes down, or Pulse gets one, sorry, as well, gets a second one. Caesar finds himself alone. This young upcoming UK talent does find one, but 13 HP to work with. It's certainly going to be a task, and Weber has found him in the end. That is going to be the reset coming through for Epiphany Bolt. That is a really tough situation. If last round they had lost, they would still be okay, right?
Yeah, because
still have loss bonus, blah, blah, blah.
Now it's all been reset back to 1400. Look at the money now, you know, 8-2 scoreline, round number 11. Scout for Thomas, Deagle for Dom and Caesar. But it's the force buy. This is looking like a 10-2. The reason being is they lose this round much, it goes 9-2. They're then on to an eco. 10-2 could be the scoreline for Endpoint. At that point, you know, 10 rounds already is a bare minimum on the CT side. I just see an unrelenting force coming out from Endpoint.
Yeah, we're definitely getting into the territory of if this round starts to, if this half, sorry, starts to go well for Epiphany Bolt, it's no longer just like a decent half. This is now a comeback at this stage. Here we go. Try and push in. Do trade 1-for-1. Not the end of the world when you're down in weaponry. Mighty Max is being flanked here, but Dom can't quite find a shot onto anyone. Caesar's there. Ooh, just get it while crab walking. Nice little shot with the Deagle, and actually this is going pretty well for Epiphany Bolt. 2 versus 2 now, still down on weaponry. But I say that, there's an AWP in the hands of Caesar now. That could be easily a difference maker.
Definitely. Obviously, he is an AWPer, but on this lineup, Lilo was here first. He is the primary AWPer for the team of Epiphany Bolt. Obviously, Caesar's very prolific as well, the AK, so he can be versatile with his weaponry. 45 seconds left. Flashbang out towards Ali. Doesn't really connect onto Thomas, but 20 points of health. Has to land the headshot out to Weber.
Oof, so close as well. 20 HP, as you say. Weber just needs a single bullet to connect right there with the AK. Anywhere on the body will do. But will he be able to get it? Just peeking up with just the tip of his head.
Yeah, 20 seconds left now. Weber finds the frag onto Thomas, just down to Caesar. Yeah, this is all looking in favour now of Endpoint. If they lose this round, they're onto a full eco. Caesar's trying to land that headshot with the Deagle, but eventually going to be dealt with. And yeah. I mean, 9-2, full eco now. Oh, Thomas goes for an instant force buy. He's tilted. This is what I mean. This team's a mix. This team is a pug. And now they're forcing. And I don't know what to say much. Honestly, you know, this is my scene. I don't say I own it, but obviously we're part of the UK scene. And it's quite embarrassing. It's quite embarrassing.
Well, I mean, it is a mixed squad at the end of the day. You can't expect too much in terms of, you know, that sort of team camaraderie and that sort of like cohesion. But here we go. The boost. Oh no. Aaron just became a very rich man very quickly right there. That's what, 1,800 dollars in his pocket. Can you telecast MOBAs?
You know, could be casting WoW esports.
I actually would be well up for casting.
I used to be.
WoW esports.
You want to hear a funny story?
Yeah.
I used to be a pro WoW player.
Did you really?
That's why I got the. Do you remember we spoke of the job I had earlier?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Ah. Oh, no way.
Swear on my life.
That's sick.
Swear on my life. Yeah. Used to sell boosts. Used to sell rank 1 carries.
Really?
Yeah, rank 1 for 900 euros.
What class?
Ellie Shaman.
Ellie Shaman.
Yeah. I've got videos.
What season is this?
Season 15, 14, and 13.
Was Ellie good, or were you just good?
Both.
I don't remember a season that Ellie.
I'll show you. I'll show you on YouTube.
I believe you.
I'll show you. I've got proof. Oh, Thomas. Proof's in the pudding. Right now he's cooking us up a nice Deagle sponge. Would you call it that?
It's more of a
treacle.
I'd say it's probably a trifle.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he's trifling with the opponent. Trifling with the score.
Trifle Thomas.
Oh dear. 11-2 now. This was the game that we were looking forward to. This was the game that was going to be close. This was the game that was going to be a nice tight scoreline where we're going to see back and forth battles, everyone hitting their shots. But it's 11-2 Snods. What went wrong?
Resets. Epiphany Bolt getting reset after winning the pistol. You know, we thought, okay, there's a chance to, you know, really have a fighting chance in this one, but maybe it could all be Endpoint looking really good now.
Mighty Max actually doing a good job right there to find a couple of kills. Thomas and Elo do answer though. 3 vs 3. Loza on the AWP, as is Elo. Oh, actually tagged out there. Just to back away a little bit. Elo, he's just waiting for him to peek. Desperate to find that shot, but Elo is having none of it. Pulse tags very heavily. Actually goes down in the end. Aaron might fall as well. This could be around for Epiphany Bolt right here.
Ooh,
Loza though.
Joe Loose is his full name. But let's see. How's the op? He might even stick this. I think he's going to stick it. He knows Elo's low.
Oh, doesn't get it. Elo managing to chime on in there with the SMG.
Yeah, still though, 11-3. Epiphany bot, if they dodged the 13-2 half, you know, 13-2 half, it's game over. But remember, this is a mix. So going to the second half on the CT side, when they can play more for themselves, they hold their own positions. They don't have to, work as a 5-man unit across the map. Run their defaults, get map control, try and have some sort of strategy. Instead, that's where the individual skill from players like Dom, Thomas, Caesar can really start to shine.
Oh, there's a nice little shot to start things off from Elo. Sets his team off the way that they want to continue. And, just stringing a couple of rounds together like this towards the end of the half, even though you're not going to finish the half with a good scoreline. That's just not an option anymore, I'm afraid. Even 11-4, while it's better than what you would expect like a few rounds ago, it's still not really a good scoreline to move on with. But if they could just put this one together, to have confidence going into the second half, to feel a little bit more with it, that could be the difference. But here we go, 2 players remaining now. Elo and Dom, they are going to go down. It's going to be 12-3 in the end. Endpoint finishing strong, and now moving towards this next pistol. Endpoint on 12 rounds already.
Yeah, the issue is here, obviously, for Endpoint, similar scenario when we saw with this Fish 123 versus Luminary launch, where Endpoint win this one, 13-3. Force buy, they win that versus that. 14-3, then an eco from Epiphany Bolt. A 15-3 scoreline, you're never going to see this team come back from it. Maybe if it was like, I don't know, an SK or who knows, right? A team that can come back from these, that have good mental fortitude. The issue is, we saw that from Thomas Forcebuy in the rounds where they were losing. They're frustrated that they're mad. Yeah.
It's a difficult situation to kind of keep your cool in, because when you're a team when you're a player that you individually can play exceptionally well, and you have that confidence going into the game, and then even if all 5 of you feel that way, even if you're all great players, if you just can't seem to work together on the day, if it doesn't seem to be coming together, that can be so difficult to keep your mentality on a level there, especially against another team that practices more heavily, has better strategies.
Full time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, despondency is the best way to describe it. A lack of hope, right? What can you really rely on now? There's no strategy, there's no tactics, but potentially they can put some stock and something to put their money on in terms of their skill on their CT side. Obviously, they can have star individual performances and come away with a W. Okay, with the rush here towards the B side from good old Endpoint. But the rotations are coming in. Elo. Who else is here? Dom as well. Let's see if they can hold this one.
They're going to try the very best. The push is already on through, though. Endpoint are onto the site, and Pulse is going to find the first kill of the round. Elo, God, just can't quite find his shots. It's just not there right now. Thomas, though, maybe going to try and prove me wrong. Caesar comes in as well, and now it's a 3v3. Pushing on forward aggressively here. Needs to try and make things happen. They don't have much time to work with. Obviously, no kits here, but nice push from Caesar. Suddenly, Mighty Max is all on his own. And he is going to go down as well. Caesar with a wonderful little round there. That's a 3K for him. It's going to be Epiphany Bolt starting this half off well.
Well, maybe this is the beginning of a comeback. Potentially.
Could be.
I mean, if Endpoint won the pistol, it was all gone. It was all gone. It was all dead and gone, essentially. But now, into round number 17, Endpoint, they have $2,000 across the board, but they've also got an 8-round advantage. You might see them force buy, but they are going to play rather tentative here and go for the eco. Obviously, Pulse, 20 frags already, and no one really stepping up from Epiphany Bolt. It's all rather evenly spread. Thomas, 11 kills. Dom, Elo on 6-7, so it's all fairly evenly spread. But it will be the eco coming out here from Endpoint, so we should be seeing a 12-5 scoreline here, so Epiphany Bolt can try and get some freebies in before the onslaught of the buy rounds come into fruition once again in the second half.
I'll have to see if they can turn... This would be really the final nail in the coffin if they couldn't win out this round with the amount of weaponry they've got, with the amount of equipment they've got on their side. Up against Endpoint's pistols, that would certainly not be the greatest motivational round in the history of the world. They are holding strong so far, though. Endpoint, sorry. Not really giving too much away, not committed to anything just yet. Just corner peeking for information, trying to figure out what's going on.
Elo with the first, though. Thomas chimes in towards Electric. 12-4, remember, so Endpoint still have so many rounds to essentially just forfeit. They have the confidence in themselves. They know once the buy rounds come around, they have the strategy, the tactics. Remember, this is the full roster coming in.
C's only stepped into to play as a mix with Epiphany Bolt only on Monday, so, you know, even if they did prac, not really much time to work on, you know, the full 7 active duty maps. But round about 18 here, no orb coming out for Lazza, instead going to be the 5 AK buy. But smokes, flashbangs galore to work behind it, so it could be a fast round towards the B site, leaving just Lazza alone towards outside. But it all comes in for this, coming down pop fast.
We go, AKs in the hands of these Endpoint players, and they're using them well. Pulse especially has been a highlight player across the course of this game, really, really stepping up. And to be honest, we were talking about it earlier, in a lineup like this, it's difficult to be the star player because you have so much talent here, but so far this game, Pulse has really, really been standing out. Dom, he's not pleased with this one so far.
Got a little peep profile picture. Do you know what that is?
Vaguely.
Vainglory? Sorry.
I just said vaguely. Similar. They do both have V's.
And G's, you know.
And G's. Yeah. Isn't Lil Peep a G?
I wouldn't know. Didn't know him personally.
Ah, okay. He had a couple of G's, I know that for sure.
Probably too many G's, you're right. 13. Was that the point you were trying to make?
Vaguely. I was, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, 8-round advantage here for Endpoint. Into round number 19. Slower round coming out. Obviously before, Lazza would just jump out and leap out towards Blue Train. Teammates would come down, pop dog like Rapunzel. And instead, actually no, Rapunzel
just stayed. She just sat in a room, mate. Moody teenager. She just had really long
Beanstalk
hair.
reversed.
I mean, just go with like something like abseiling.
Sorry.
Yeah, just go with that one.
Yeah, but I was trying to make a Disney reference. Well, obviously checking the Beanstalk isn't Disney, but you know what I mean, like
fairy tale.
Yeah.
It was like, oh
man,
that was a nice little shot.
Wow. 3 versus 5. Flash coming in towards lower, and the rotations are swarming in from Epiphany Bolt. 3 players here already. Make it all 5 at this point. And again, all the Endpoint players are grouped here as well. It's going to be a brawl on the B side.
It was like when Shrek escaped with Fiona. Weber though. I don't know why that just happened, but
that was me on Monday night, mate.
Oh dear. You know, Monday nights are usually a pretty heavy night for most people, I think. Everyone loves a good Monday night out at Firebug. Was it Firebug? I assume it was Firebug.
Yeah.
So it's always Firebug. There's something in the water there.
All the alcohol?
Although, I say that, I've never tried the water there. Here we go, Lazza pushing on into the site. Does find one for himself. Caesar trying to peek this one through, but Lazza doesn't know where to look. He's sort of in the middle of all of it. Pulse, though, finding one. Can't quite get the spray down. Will be taken out in the end. 2 versus 1. Mighty Max has an AK, though, and Elo's only on 4 HP. This is still very possible. Mighty Max, finds one, gets the second one. That is going to be Endpoint. Finally getting another round on the board. It feels like that was a long time coming to be able to get that round, but now 14, they've got AKs. There is enough money to go for a force here for Epiphany Bolt, if that's what they choose to do. A couple of scouts here, a couple of Famisers. But honestly, I mean, money-wise, Endpoint don't exactly look fantastic either.
Oh, no. I mean, UMP there coming out for Aaron. Obviously, 2 Khalils as well. Only 2 AKs in the buy in the Arsenal for Endpoint into this round. But I mean, yeah, 14-6. 2 Famisers, a CZ now for Wolfie, 2 scouts as well. It's all a bare bones buy across the board. The first frag's crucial here. Epiphany Bolt, they can land the first kill, you know, try and play the trade game, group up together, have close spacing between each other. And there's a real chance they can actually win this round off the back of the trades. But the longer this round goes on for, the less utility they have. But they have found the first frag, but before Aaron can trade it out swiftly. So Pop is now in the domain of Endpoint. It looks like they may group towards the B site, leaving just Dom alone with the FAMAS and no utility. All comes down to Elo. Is he going to stay towards A? Is he going to go back towards B? Slow and steady wins the Prem.
That wasn't Monday night. That was Tuesday morning right there.
That was Tuesday morning, mate. Over the toilet.
Yeah. Cheeky little 3 AM session. Anyway, here we go. Push comes on in. Mighty Max with the Galil. Oh, just about finishes off the kill. I'm not sure if he was going to get that one. Oh, nearly gets a second. But Luzzer is the one to finish it off. Dom now, last man standing. He's got a Famous. Maybe he can make this happen. Luzzer's on 5 HP. Dom can keep this alive for Epiphany Bolt. Get the reset onto Endpoint. But Luzzer, he's got a Galil. A headshot would do it. Dom is not feeling too healthy himself. Saw that takeaway he's been having. It's not slowed him down too much, though. No,
he is only 18, so the takeaways, you know, they haven't really affected the Talisman just yet. So,
it's good.
14-7. Endpoint still in the runnings for this one, obviously. They are doubling the scoreline that's been put up by Epiphany, but obviously 7 times 2 is 14. But apart from that, Munch, you know, how's your day been so far?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Slept in till like 11:30 or something, which was just wonderful.
Yeah?
Gonna do the same tomorrow. Can't wait.
Why's that?
Here we go. Because
you're not getting any commitments, mate.
I'm unemployed. as of the end of this stream. Here we go. A couple of kills for Wolf.
The reality's sinking in, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh god. Yes, exactly.
It was my choice. It was my choice. I swear.
That's what she said.
I've been forced out. This is all falling apart, and I'm not talking about Endpoint here. Oh my goodness. All right. Endpoint, 2 rounds away, but they just don't seem to be able to make it happen. We're talking about how, you know, Epiphany Bolt, they're a mixed team. They need that momentum. They seem to have found it in this half.
Yeah, it was the first half scoreline, 12-3 or 11-4. Something ridiculous like that. So, in terms of kills, Pulse 25, doing all right for himself. But yeah, it was a 12-3 scoreline.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, they might even get 14-9 here, Endpoint. We saw them lose a 13-4 advantage versus Pat's Money Crew. So they have lost with substantial leads.
Why are Pat's Money Crew called Pat's Money Crew?
One of the players is called Pats, and this is Money Crew. But abbreviated, it's PMC. Personal Militia, I don't know. Jack knows this sort of stuff. Jack knows this sort of stuff. He just browses Reddit all day, and he picks up little things here and there. And this is one of the things he'll know.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll chuck him a text, see what he says.
Yeah?
Hang on. You talk for a bit, I'll text Jackie.
That's what I do for a living. Round number 24. This one's still going on. Double op set up now from Caesar and Elo. And no op for Joe Lazarus, so actually this could be rather effective for a Epiphany Bolt. If this goes 14-10 and the, you know, within touching distance, you know, between these two teams, 5 rounds would be the difference.
Oh, we can hear the giggles from production are... They're laughing so hard at their own jokes. It's just wonderful. At least they're certainly entertaining themselves.
Oh dear.
That's through his soundproof headset. Soundproof.
Yeah.
In inverted commas there.
Yeah.
I can hear the giggles.
Well, Endpoint won't be laughing if people bring this one back.
Yeah, they're only 5 rounds down now. This is actually starting to become pretty doable. Especially if Endpoint keep on
chugging.
Losing these rounds as they have been. And you can see the confidence has fallen off from Endpoint as well, because they were playing so quickly before.
Yeah, remember the first buy round, cool, rushing down Pop Dog, rushing towards the A site. Now it's all gone slow and steady. The teachers were back into the room and everyone's gone silent and they have to actually pay attention.
Yeah, the giggling has ceased. Teachers back. But the question is, who's the one that's going to get detention? Who's going to be the scapegoat for the rest of the class? Looks like it might be Luzzer. Oh, it's actually Pulse in the end. Caesar, with the AWP, does do a good job here to start things off. Mighty Max gets one, but he's traded, and the rest of the team has gone down immediately. Luzzer has 1 kill for himself, but
Dom,
not enough.
14-10. Do you speak any other languages?
Do I speak?
Do you say the scoreline in any other languages?
Oh, yeah, probably. Actually, no. Wait, what's 4 in French? 103 4. So it would be 10 4. 10 and 10 4, I think.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
The low teens in French are a bit weird, and then the rest of the numbers are all follow a system.
You prefer, you know, French in the higher teens?
I'm just going to walk away from that topic entirely. That's dangerous talk right there.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference either way, does it?
No, probably not.
3
scheme of things.
3 versus 3. Mighty Max lands the headshot with the Deagle. In towards quad, so they do know exactly where he is. I don't think Dom actually has a realise.
So I've got to... Hang on. After this round, I've got a reply from Jackie.
All right.
Talk it through.
All right.
Elo. This one, though. 2 players left for Endpoint. I think this one might just be done anyway, to be honest.
I mean, if it goes 14 to 11, this one does get rather close.
Does indeed.
Now you've got quite a breather, all right. Actually, it's quite a long-winded reply you've got.
Not really.
Okay.
I was just trying to build suspense, you know.
Yeah, well... Endpoint were as well, apparently. It's all for show.
No, it was Epiphany Bolt that were building suspense. They were just like, we'll just sandbag the first half, and then the second half, we can show people what we're made of.
Wow.
Weber
20 seconds left to... Yeah, I mean, obviously, Weber loses this round. It's going to go 14 to 11, but it will be a barber to the next round. But for Endpoint, they're only 3 rounds ahead here, so there's a high chance this could go to overtime or, God forbid, if we actually win this one.
All right, so I messaged Jackie. For anyone who's just tuned in, we messaged Jackie. He's a regular Prem caster for CSGO. We weren't sure why Pat's Money Crew, called Pat's Money Crew, and Snod's recommended texting Jackie because he's a guy that knows things like this. His response is, they just are. Just a name, innit?
That's such a Jackie response as well, isn't it?
They
you know, mate, I'm not really too arsed, don't really care.
Sorry?
It is.
He's had a...
He's had enough.
He's had a doesn't know. All right, let's talk about Counter-Strike. 11 to 14, this is actually a very realistic game now for Epiphany Bolt, especially with how this second half has been going. Maybe this could be a huge turnaround game. Let's bear in mind, in the 10 rounds of this half so far, Endpoint have only managed to snag 2 of them.
It's very true. So far, what is it, 7 for Epiphany Bolt? No, it's not. It's 8. 8 for Epiphany Bolt and 2 for Endpoint, as you said. So this is the buy round that really is going to test Endpoint. Obviously, Elo boosted up here with the elevated angle. Loz is not going to give the peek towards Team Main.
You say he's Elo boosted?
Hey, shout out to League of Legends. Or Vainglory, or any game that has Elo as their current...
Basically, every game has Elo, really. Well, I guess not. I guess Elo is the actual number, isn't it? So
MMR is used in...
MMR is basically Elo, it's just
rating.
hidden Elo.
Yeah, basically. They are both the same.
Yeah. Just one of them you have sight on, basically. Anyway, Endpoint have actually got an advantage in a round, which is something I've not said in quite a while. Here we go, Aaron decides that a cheeky little peek is the way forward and goes down, as does one of his friends. Pulse gets one though, here we go. He's going to be able to find another one. Wolfie and Dom, last 2 remaining, but oh my goodness. That's more than enough players for Epiphany Bolt. 12 to 14, we have the close game we were hoping for on our hands.
This was a 14 to 5 scoreline. Why are Endpoint struggling at the moment to close out these games?
They've paused the game as well. I assume that this was Endpoint pausing this one.
Things are getting a bit dicey now. Attack pause comes in. Endpoint could be paranoid.
Endpoint is definitely struggling here. The thing is, in classic UKCS style, Epiphany Bolt are going to win the next 2 rounds and then Endpoint are going to win the game.
Yeah.
And it's going to be heartbreaking for Epiphany Bolt, but I've seen it happen about 1,000 times.
Yeah, I mean...
And that's just today. I watched a lot of CS today. That's not true.
Well, you know...
Oh, I mean, I watched a fair amount.
On average, yeah.
But not enough to have seen 1,000 failed comebacks.
Maybe. Well, 12 to 14. 2 rounds.
separate these two teams, and effectively one buy round, really, because Epiphany Bolt win the next buy round. Suddenly, it's 13-14, then suddenly Nika comes out for Endpoint, 14-14, so... Oh, they are buying as well. Oh my.
Look at the faces on the Endpoint players. They are serious going into this round.
Right,
you can see the concern in his eyes.
Do you reckon you'd have him?
Hmm?
Do you reckon you'd have him?
Do you reckon I could have him? No.
You don't?
He's a soldier. I'm a skinny nerd from Doncaster.
Oh, munchables, more like quotables with that one.
Oh, leg comes through. This cast has become a shambles, hasn't it? It was pretty serious towards the start, and then as the day's gone on...
Once the ice was broken.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've got a few drinks for you. Alcohol's set in.
Did you?
Yeah, and now I'm getting us to leave it back to the hotel. I'm joking. He has a girlfriend.
I'm too drunk to remember at this point.
So was she.
Wow. Yikes. Yikes. Well.
14-12. Round number 27, Munch.
Jesus.
Oh, dear. Now I'm the one laughing at my own joke.
That was... I feel like I'm Castaway Herald now. That's Herald humor right there.
But the jokes are actually funny.
Oh.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Saucy.
I'm joking.
Here we go. Shots come on through. That is going to be Aaron taking the first kill of the round. Endpoint have an advantage. Can they turn it into more? Luzza gets one. This could finally be the shutdown. Oh, Thomas through the smoke. Doesn't quite connect to the kill. So close. Will finally take out Aaron in the end. Health bars are low for Endpoint. Epiphany Bolt could still take this one, but Pulse is wrapped around. Beautiful little play there. And Elo's all alone. He's got his AWP, but that's not going to be enough to win this round. Endpoint finally are going to get themselves onto match point.
15-12 then. It's going to be a match point here for Endpoint. Well, took him a while.
Yeah.
12-3 half, remember. You know, it's 15-12. I mean, if this goes OT, which you very well could, remember, right?
I mean, like, bear in mind.
If they get their money reset,
yeah,
100%
exactly.
this is overtime. And the money's going to be low as well because someone died to the bomb.
This is going to be heartbreaking for Epiphany Bolt if they lose this round now. After all of that struggle, they have so little cash as well. This is actually a pretty simple round win for Endpoint in theory, considering how low the Epiphany Bolt money stash is. 2 AWPs coming out, but not much support for them.
Well, with the bomb being left towards T-spawn, it seems like the default is going to be the call here from Endpoint. Wolfie splitting out towards B lower, but as you said, yeah, the weaponry is so low right now for the CT side. Seems like this is going to be going in favor of Epiphany Bolt. Vice versa, sorry, of Endpoint. They do have 2 AWPs to work with. Elo, Caesar. Going to be wielding those. Thomas, actually pretty famous for his CZ play within the UK scene. Very strong with that weapon. But now everyone uses it, so it kind of takes away from it. But as I say that, finds a frag with it. Luzza will get the reply frag eventually onto Caesar. So 4 versus 4 here. Endpoint going to be grouping outside B potentially and take that 3 versus 1 on to Wolfie.
Looks like B is the call right now. Luz are going to be rotating over towards the rest of his team. Just trying to catch up, and I think they've spotted the call here. Actually trading rifles. They want to take that AWP over towards the B site. I like that. Wolfie on the site. He knows that they're here. He can hear the footsteps, gets one for himself, wants a second one as well. They know where he is now, though. He's been found out, but there's only 1 player remaining. This is beautiful from Thomas. He got the AWP, wrapped around, and found a couple of kills. Dom gets one, and the economy is reset for Endpoint. Another round for Epiphany Bolt. They've got 2 AWPs now. They've got rifles galore, and we could well see overtime.
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 Overtime. Have I not got it? I haven't got one of those voices.
Similar. Where are you from?
Hertfordshire. Just north of London.
North London.
North of London. Oh, yeah, you know, not North London, eh? But, you know, North London. North of London.
Okay.
Okay.
You said North London a lot. Hey, it's North London.
Hey, it's disgusting.
I have to say, the pigeons are not the highest quality pigeons I've ever seen.
Yeah?
I mean, I've seen real pigeons.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you seen real Counter-Strike?
Not to brag.
Have you seen real Counter-Strike though?
No.
Hey.
Oh my goodness.
And onto the munch cam in 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Oh, chicken.
Someone's at the door.
Yeah, chicken Caesar salad. Found the first frag. And now, as I said, this could be OT for the boys. Obviously, Endpoint Eco, 14 to 15. Then it all comes down to the last buy round. And if, I don't know, this is getting quite ridiculous now.
This has been honestly kind of embarrassing for Endpoint to have a lead that significant. To end the first half 12 to 3 and then end up basically facing overtime. I mean, I did predict that Epiphany Bolt would get back up to 14.
Yep.
And Endpoint would just turn it around, get the 16th round, bada bing. That could still happen. This could be the last round of the game.
It could very well be. Obviously, Epiphany Bolt now. 1 round away from close this one out. It's going to be the Galil coming out for Aaron, UMP for Mighty Max, and no AWP for Luz. And this is a big thing for Endpoint, obviously. Having, what was it, a 14 to 5 lead early on in their T side here, throwing it all away. But we've seen this before from Endpoint. They had a 13 to 4 advantage versus Pat's Money Crew, and they threw that one away. If it goes into overtime, though, I feel like Endpoint still win it. But yeah, we'll find out.
We will have to see. Endpoint, though, losing the first player here. Fantastic news for Epiphany Bolt fans at home. They've still got the double AWP as well. You've got to bear that in mind. Very easy to defend, so long as it's not a very fast push coming on through. Those AWPs are just going to be so huge. And Elo is on 28 HP. That's not the end of the world when you can kill people in a singular bullet. Now, the push on towards this A site. Dom is in a good position. He knows where the players are, but Pulse has wrapped around and found him. With his trousers down, gets 2 for himself. He's been a highlight player. Oh, will be able to secure the round just about. Elo, last man remaining. I mentioned him before. He's got the AWP in his hands. Can he turn this into overtime? It's all on his shoulders at Endpoint. So close to finishing out this game after such a struggle in the second half. Sees the player, Luzzer doesn't connect the shot, but now Elo has been spotted out. They know where he is. These Endpoint members all holding their angles, making it so difficult for Elo here.
1 versus 3. 28 points of health, lands the leg, and there you have it. 16 to 14. They drew it out for so long. Obviously, what was it? 12 to 3 first half. Yeah. Obviously, you know, to go from this point as well, if you're Epiphany Bolt, you know, what were you expecting?